I'm not your typical LEGO Star Wars fan, by a long mile. I genuinely like the Land Speeder and Chewbacca, just to name a few odd takes of mine, and I'm strongly considering buying the Death Star day one because I actually think it's really cool. And I couldn't care less for the fact that it is a slice and not a sphere, or that C-3PO doesn't have dual molded legs when the reasoning is understandable. There's 38 minifigures in this set, and I have my fair share of dual molded C-3POs already. With that said, the Gingerbread 8080 puts a smile on my face, for more reasons than one, so thank you LEGO for sending it, and let's go straight into it. Gingerbread Darth Vader has become my favorite Star Wars minifigure I own, and I have a few. The way his details were turned into cookie form is really fun, especially when you have it side by side with a regular Darth Vader figure. The minifigure has both front and back printing, and even his cape stays on theme. Would have been amazing to see a gingerbread color lightsaber though, instead of his usual red. Underneath his helmet there's just a plain minifigure head. The iconic 8080 was turned full-on gingerbread, and I don't think LEGO ever went this small with this particular vehicle. I'm sure people will tell me all about it down below, but honestly, I like it. The scale works really well for the vehicle, and if you were to replace all colors for grey, you'd have yourself a very respectable Star Wars model on your hands. But you know how Star Wars grey bricks are expensive, so it wouldn't be cheap. The mostly brown and white color scheme is sprinkled everywhere with colored tiles. The feet have that cake icing piece with some ribbons. There's a pair of strings with Christmas lights on each side of the vehicle. But my favorite details are the candy cane blasters to the sides of the command section. Below them, the heavy laser cannons were done in a similar candy cane style of arrangement, which stays on brand. A small hatch can be lifted to see Gingerbread Vader in there, though while you have him seated there, the hatch can no longer be closed. I do miss the lack of movement for this entire section though, as the thing does not budge. It's fixed in place, making for a more stable model, not as prone to breaking, though on the flip side, one that can't be played as much. The legs, however, do have your typical degree of movement for a few different poses if you'd like, but again, not great for play in my eyes, as these sections near the feet keep falling off while adjusting the thing. As you're probably wondering, the vehicle does have an interior which stays on brand once again, revealing some storage space for gifts in the back, and a bit of a living room in the center where Vader can relax in front of the built-in fireplace with stockings above. There's Christmas wreaths in the opening side panels of the AT-AT, and the last room has a Death Star model, though you know what could have been incredibly funny was having this model in there instead to reference the upcoming UCS set, am I right? I really like the look of this. The gingerbread spin makes this set incredibly fun when compared to 95% of the stuff the theme does these days, making me genuinely excited about Star Wars in ways no other set of the theme has done for me for the past year. And if you're lucky enough to own the Christmas X-Wing 2090 employee gift set, I'm sure they would look amazing together. I'll never know the feeling because even though I was still an employee for half of the year in 2019, I didn't get a copy of it. And 6 years later, you can kinda tell I'm not salty about it, right? LEGO, if you're listening, just send me a copy and all will be forgiven. Your move. LEGO did send me the festive gingerbread house I'll be reviewing in another video, and given how both are based off of the same concept, there's a bit of a Star Wars gingerbread display brewing in the horizon if you're feeling up for it. The last thing we need to cover before wrapping this up is, of course, the pricing. This is Star Wars we're talking about, and looking back at the year, you'd be inclined to assume where this is going to go, right? So at 700 pieces, the Gingerbread 8080 is going to retail for $60. I beg your pardon? I don't remember the last time a Star Wars set had a price per piece ratio that was lower than 10 cents a piece, so consider me very surprised with this thing. So all in all, I really like this one. Like I stated in the very beginning of this video, I'm not your typical Star Wars fan, and most releases do nothing for me these days. The Gingerbread 8080 does make me smile for being such a quirky model, giving a boring grey vehicle done a million times over a fresh take, with an equally fun and exclusive minifigure, and a value proposition Star Wars sets, or IP LEGO sets in general, never see these days. If this becomes a yearly thing, I would not be surprised, and I'll be here for it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.